So I apologize for this episode being really late. It's just going to be bound to happen from time to time where a topic will come up and I'll get really passionate about it and I need to talk about it. You're going to be hearing rain in the background. I apologize. It's fucking shitty out there. But anyway, generally speaking, these episodes will come out later at night. But this episode's just coming out really late because it's just I had work and I got busy. But anyway, I want to talk about the Adpocalypse because there's so many people tweeting out and talking about like some crazy ass shit saying like YouTube is to blame for this, and YouTubers going broke, and just too many people freaking out. And I'm like, dude, the solutions for this are so simple. It's so easy. And I feel like a lot of people are acting like complete fucking idiots here because you're not taking into consideration something is that your asset is your fan base. Your fan base is like your biggest support factor. Now, I mean, it might sound horrible to say this, but if your audience really likes your content and really wants to support you, they will. You know, that's kind of a harsh thing to say. You know, you got to sell to them like that. You got to be like, hey, you guys, you like my content. If you could throw me like $2 this month, that means I can keep going for another month or 2 months or however long you want to say. And that's the great thing about microtransactions in businesses is that they're small purchases. People are able to part with a couple dollars here or there. Now, if you told me that you needed $100 right now from each person in order to sustain another year of your content, I'd be like, well, no, fuck you. I don't know if I'm going to like your content in 6 months. So why would I give you a year's worth of revenue if I could give you a week's worth of revenue and try to, essentially pay to entertain us as if you were a Twitch streamer? Now, I'm going to talk about two people, and it's actually sucky because I've done an interview with one of them, and then the other one I'm actually indirect. I'm working with the Trending Topic podcast. I work with Bionic Pig, and we're going to be trying to get that podcast some revenue coming in. But I'm going to talk about I'm Alex in particular. Anyway, so I was on Twitter, and I had a tweet from Watery Shoe, and Watery Shoe was saying that he got 67,000 YouTube video views, and he only made $1 for 67,000 views. And he did the math, and I think he said he had to make 105 million views in order to earn minimum wage for a month, I believe. I can't remember exactly. Oh shit, the rain's coming down. Fuck's sake, man. But anyway, and so I said, well, if you're able to get 67,000 views, it depends on the context of that viewership. Let's just say, for example, you're able to get 5,000 views every episode. Well, what was to stop you from changing up your content slightly? Don't change up everything because, viewers are very quick to reject anything new. So you have to ease them into a new process. And that's the big thing there is easing. I'll reference that a few times, but I won't talk about it too much. But it's easing people into that. And these people don't know how to ease people into things. And, your fans and your viewers don't like change. People just in general don't like change. So when people are like, I made a Patreon, they somehow expect this Patreon to just kind of blow up and make them a lot of money and be like, oh, I don't have to worry about ads because my Patreon made me enough money this month. So no. Like anything else you had to do building your YouTube career, you have to nurture the fuck out of this thing. But anyway, coming back full circle now to the, viewership. Let's say maybe you're getting about 5,000 to 10,000 views per video you're uploading. And in I'm Alex's case, actually, I'm going to have to find the shit right now. Let's find his YouTube channel. Alex, if you're listening, you should not have fucking ever thought of the idea of moving out and buying a house with such little revenue coming your way, man. I am upset over that. But overall, I think he did a good move in getting out of his parents' house to try to, do this as a job, but made a YouTube video called Why I Left YouTube. I can't watch that right now. We'll watch that later. But anyway. So coming back full circle, we're looking at his YouTube channel right now, and I'm seeing he's getting video views around the 50,000, 30,000, 70,000, 263,000, 70. So I think it's fair to say that the average number for I'm Alex right now is about 50 to 70,000, maybe more about the 60,000 mark. So I'm Alex decides to do 3 things. These are the 3 key things here that you need to do. Is number 1, put in twice the amount of work you've currently been putting into your videos. And do this. Number 1, make a Patreon. But you could also maybe, in so many words, call it a website. Make your own website with people the ability to subscribe to you. And pay, I think the number that I've drawn up is between $3 to $5 a month. A simple subscription service for premium content and maybe a one-time transaction $25. Something along those lines. But the idea is that fan funding will keep you afloat for certain periods of time. Like, you need to run this like a business. And so, let's say out of that 60,000 people, 60,000 just out of this particular example, maybe 1,000 of them in the first month, not like in general, just the first month, 1,000 people decide to subscribe to your Patreon or your website, or they decide to, support you in some way fiscally. And we're going to say the price value that Alex has said is $5 because there's more collaborations. He's doing more stuff with, the Trending Topic guys or Wild Spartan collabs. And these are private videos that can only be seen if you have this particular tier of a membership on their website. Well, guess what? Out of 1,000 people now supporting you, you're making $5,000 a month after you've nurtured something. That's the key word. In a month of you having this, that's just people who are coming to see extra content that you're producing. So the biggest thing that's driving me crazy is these YouTubers don't understand how to leverage their viewership, how to leverage their subscribers and say, hey, you guys, if you want more content, you like what I'm doing here? Well, I put up double the amount of content on my premium website. So every video you see, the biggest problem with these people is that they all work on trending shit. So it's like, you can't really make a video a week down the line like about the Daddy of Five situation. But that's the biggest thing I try to tell people is make video content that's trendy, so it follows trend suits and whatnot. You're probably gonna hear some. Oh shit! There's the lightning. Fuck's sake, man. That's actually kind of terrifying. That's really fucking loud. Anyway, so if you're making three times the videos. Let's say you're able to make, I don't know, what's the amount that people are making nowadays, like 3 videos a week. Make 9 a week. But what you do with that is that you say, I've nurtured a Patreon, I've made a merchandising store, I have a Twitch page where people are subscribing to my Twitch or subscribing to my YouTube or spending on Super Chat. I have, my own podcast, which we get advertisers from. Well, guess what? You don't need to rely on YouTube ad. YouTube ad revenue is the most terrible thing you could have relied on in the first place, and I'm so upset that I have to say that to people. And I'm hoping that me and Alex will talk in the future about this, because I'm gonna try to get Pig and all the other guys to sit down with me and be like, look, we need to get you guys set so that you can say fuck YouTube ad revenue and take what is the best opportunity right now, which all of these people online, I'm sorry to say it, are fucking idiots they aren't realizing something. So number one, H3H3 making that video saying we're leaving YouTube is the most amazing thing for creators. And I love H3H3. I love the content he does. I think it's honestly some of the best stuff out there. But when the big creators are saying we can't really make a living here, so we're going to take our audience and shift it somewhere else, that gives opportunity for the small creators, because guess what? Those subscribers who are watching on YouTube, they're not leaving YouTube. They're not moving to some other website. They're still consuming YouTube content. They're still proprietors to the site saying we want stuff. And you have the chance to swoop in. So H3H3 leaves the fucking platform, or he outsources his, maybe makes 1 video a week or 2 videos a month or something like that. Well, guess what? That's more people who are just desiring viewership or content. That gives people more access to grow. And instead of relying on ad revenue, you rely on growing your name and growing your brand. It's 2 separate things. I'll talk about that some fucking other time. God. I mean, I'm supposed to be more offensive here, but I'm like, I hope everybody gets the underlying premise. I'm saying that these people are fucking idiots for relying on this to be like the thing that made you able to be an independent artist. Well, guess what? This is a great saying all the time, and I wish I knew who said it off the top of my head, but it was somebody in FaZe who said there were too many times where people would grind and grind and grind to get into FaZe. They would work their ass off, grind for clips, do the best possible montages, get the top tier shit. They'd get recruited into FaZe, and then they'd fuck off. And I'm gonna use this example because I really don't like this guy at all. It's more of a personal issue between me and him through Thrust, but that'll be another story if anybody's interested. But Mala was at a fucking prime opportunity. He was in FaZe, he was doing good, he was making clips, he was an interesting content creator, and he gets to FaZe and he just fucks right off. I don't know his personal life, I don't know if he has any personal issues, but that is the FaZe guys, the leaders say once you get into the team, What you thought you were doing back then, you need to be doing twice as much. Because of two reasons, by the way. They didn't say this in the video, but I'll fucking tell you what they are. Number one, let's just say you're a guy with 100,000 subscribers. You were grinding your ass off. You got 100,000 subscribers like I'm Alex. And then fucking Rain comes up to you, or whoever the leader of FaZe is, I honestly don't know. And they say, we want to get you in our team. You got to do this, you got to do that. Maybe you got to move out to where we are. You got to participate in our YouTube page or something like that. Well, guess what? You now have the entire FaZe team watching your videos. You now have all of the possible subscribers from the FaZe Clan team pages, the solo member pages. They could possibly be looking at your channel. So when somebody says, oh, you thought you were working hard now? Well, work twice as hard, bitch. You work twice as hard because you're getting all of those subscribers from just having your name being FaZe Alex or something like that. And number two, all those existing FaZe subscribers, they probably will come to your channel. And the same methodology needs to be implemented here. And I'm like, it's fucking mind-boggling. And I hate that I can't really preach what I practice, but I kind of have the sense that it's like, if I had the same type of ability, or I guess you could say opportunity a lot of these creators do, which, by the way, well-deserved. They deserve everything they've earned. But I'm like, you are squandering the ability to make this into a business, a career, and a lifestyle. And it's like, too many people are just saying, oh, we're fine where we're at. And in all honesty, I'm going to bring these guys up. My biggest concern right now, like, these guys, I am so nervous for it because I'm expecting them to be like, we're under fire right now. And that's Best in Class, BNHD, Super Serial, and God, I'm blanking on the last name. I'm blanking on the last name, but I'm so nervous for those four guys in the house because it's like, they got that house together and the content they're making is good and decent, but I tried to talk to them. I had a friend who knew them, and we tried to talk, or I tried to talk to them and be like, yo, start a podcast. You guys have a house. Take one of those rooms and modify it into a podcasting room. Don't fucking stream, just podcast from there. Make a live podcast, because if the four of you guys are working together and you're they're right next to the Red House, like, you could be making so much fucking money. You could constantly be having Red members come over to your house from the Red House. You could have other content creators coming over your way. Your podcast would be one of the biggest things, and it would be enough for you guys to stay afloat. Not only stay afloat, but also hire out some fucking editors so you guys don't even have to worry about that shit. Like, I like their videos. I think they do a lot of good work, and it's like, you guys are wasting time editing, man. You are fucking wasting time. Hire people. You could have the opportunity to. Oh my god. I'm so fucking nervous for those guys. And if you are watching and you even know who they are, go support them. They're gonna fucking need it, I think. I have no idea where they're standing with their financials, but I'm not gonna pretend like I know everything. Anyway, coming back full circle, let's finish this shit off with something real quick. Because number one, anybody I talk about in this, I'm still either working with them, or I would have utmost, I guess you could say, positive willing and intent to work with anybody who wants to help, turn YouTube into a career. But I was frustrated with some of these tweets, so I was like, how can you sit there and say, oh, this is YouTube's fault, this is the advertiser's fault, this is the creator's fault? Like, no, nobody here in particular is to blame. Maybe the Wall Street Journal, but, I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, they're the reason everything's happened. No, they were just more so a catalyst, if anything. Not at most, but, definitely at the very least, they were a big catalyst in this whole movement. But to sit there and have the audacity, and I hate to, it's like, it really is, to have the audacity to say that YouTube is fucking killing my channel or is destroying me. Oh, I can't live in my house, or I can't pay my mortgage because of YouTube. Well, guess what? I'll be very short on this, and I want to wrap this episode up, but it's like Adam Kovic tells a story about how he was on a plane once, and or something like that. He was in a convention or a plane, and he was talking to this kid who's maybe 14 years old or something like that, and he's talking to this kid, and this kid's like, oh, cool, I got a YouTube channel too, I work for Machinima. And Adam Kovic's like, well, wait, I actually work for Machinima. People don't understand is that YouTube isn't fucking... what's a popular store that everybody knows? Best Buy, or Verizon, or AT&T. They don't like go, oh yeah, you applied to this place to work here and we're going to pay you an hourly rate. No, YouTube is like a contractor position where they say, hey, you're just we're bringing you on here to make money from the work you do. We don't really dictate any money that you make. Because, it's just kind of going to depend on how the fucking weather is, and any your ads could be up or down. Doesn't even before the ad crisis, you never knew how much money you were going to make, really. So, and you never knew the type of viewership you're going to get. But all that money you make, you have to pay your own taxes, which you'd be surprised a lot of people don't know how to do that. And I'm like, I'm just mortified because people are sitting there saying, oh yeah, I work for YouTube. It's like, well, no, you don't. You work for yourself. You, I believe, are technically labeled as an entrepreneur. I don't know exactly that, but that's the biggest scary thing. And I think people need to get their heads out of their asses and get their fucking A game hat on and say, okay, I need to work 4 times harder now, make twice as many videos, make that Patreon, get the merchandise out just to survive. And I know it's going to be a really bad prediction because I don't really have any base for this prediction, but I think if somebody, like, let's just say I'm Alex, for example, here, said, all right, I'm going to put the time and effort in. I'm going to do everything that I'm suggesting personally. I think it would take him about 6 months, maybe, and that's a very loose terminology. For somebody like Alex's size and the viewership he gets, I would say more along the lines of 3 months, but anyway. In 3 to 6 months, particularly for Alex, he could be making probably double what he was making on YouTube, maybe triple. And I'm like, y'all should have been doing that from the beginning. Anyway, I'll talk about this again in the future if anybody wants it. Please leave a comment anywhere. If you're listening to this on Spreaker, YouTube, if you're listening to VidMe, anywhere you're listening, please leave a comment. I'd love to hear any topics you want me to talk about. Again, just trying to have some bad manners. We're just being rude here. I'm calling people idiots. I'm calling them stupid, but I gotta vent these fucking opinions out. I gotta get them out. I'm trying to work with these people, and I want people to hear what I have to say in order to save them from themselves, man. I love all you, and I'll see you next time.